What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today's video is going to be a very fun one. I am so excited. So today I am going to be testing out all of your 2018 makeup favorites. Now, I asked you guys on Instagram what your favorite products were from 2018, and I ended up getting, I think, around like 500-ish comments. And I decided that instead of just like going through the comments and just picking out the products that maybe I haven't tried before, or just products that I think I'm seeing over and over again, I would get real serious with it. Put on my nerd hat, I opened up Excel, and I did some data analysis. I took this stuff very seriously. I went through every single comment. So if you commented on that photo, you participated in this video, and I basically took your answer, put it in an Excel spreadsheet, and that took me 3 hours. It was quite the process. And then, oh yeah, there is more. I then created charts for each and every category, charting the products that kept popping up the most. So without further ado, I'm gonna zoom you guys in and let's just get started. Okay, so first things first, I wanna start off with primer. Now, the number one primer type of product that you guys were letting me know that you loved in 2018 was by far the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter product. Now, this product essentially just gives your skin the most amazing, flattering, just soft, sheeny glow. Now, it does have a little bit of coverage to it, so you can actually wear this in place of your foundation. For me, it's not really something that I do because since it does have a really nice glow to it, I feel like it sort of is too glowy when I put it all over my face. So I do actually prefer to apply this product underneath my foundation only in certain areas of my face because it gives the skin the most amazing like glow from within type of look. So I am going to be using this today, but only on certain areas of my face. Now, the second primer that was the most commented was the L'Oreal Glotion. Now, that's another really beautiful glowy primer. I wouldn't say that it's a dupe for this because it's not tinted. It's more of like a clear product that just gives your skin a really beautiful glow. So because that is such a similar product to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, I wanted to use something else on the rest of my face, and the third most commented product was the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. This is very simply just a hydrating primer. It does a really great job in giving your skin a really nice like moisturized layer for your foundation to sit on, and it is a primer as well, so it does do a great job of allowing your foundation to last a little bit longer throughout the day. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to put a little bit of the primerizer all over my face, and I'm going to take the Flawless Filter, and I'm only going to put this sort of on like my cheek area. I don't really love putting this really anywhere else on my face other than my cheek area, just because I feel like it makes my skin just a little bit too dewy, which is never something I ever thought would come out of my mouth. Normally I'm all about all the dew that I can get, but I just find that I like to sort of control the dew on the rest of my face. So I'm just taking this Real Techniques foundation brush and just really lightly buffing it out. It doesn't need to be perfect because, like I said, I'm gonna be putting a foundation right on top of this. This product, though, speaks for itself. Look at that glow. Now, you guys definitely gave me a lot of comments on your favorite foundations from 2018. The number one foundation that you guys were talking about, which actually surprised me quite a bit, it's not what I expected, was the Dior Backstage foundation. That was number one. I actually went to Sephora to go pick it up, and they did not have my shade in stock, which was devastating. The number two most commented foundation, which just, you guys know the weight of my heart, it's MAC Face and Body. You guys know the MAC Face and Body is probably my most used, most talked about, most loved foundation at the moment. So perhaps my obsession with talking about MAC Face and Body got a lot of you guys on the MAC Face and Body train. That would be pretty awesome. However, for today, I am going to be using the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. This was one of your top recommendations, and I really wanted to use this one in particular because I personally haven't used it in a while, and honestly, I sort of forget what it looks like on my skin. However, I do remember when I did try this that I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to trying this out again. So today, I'm using the shade LN4. For my brush today, I'm gonna be taking my Morphe G36, and I'm just gonna start to pounce it out on my skin. Okay, I don't know if it's because of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter that's underneath it, but do you guys see how glowy my skin looks right now? It is like that perfect sheeny glow. It looks like I drank so much water today. So I'm not gonna do concealer yet because I sort of wanna do my eyes first. I have a feeling I'm gonna have a little bit of fallout, so I wanna make sure my under eyes are gonna look nice and clean. So I wanna move on now to bronzer. There was two very, very clear winners. First one actually surprised me quite a bit. I did not expect that this would be one of the top, but it is the Milk Makeup Cream Matte Bronzer in the shade Baked. This is another product that I have loved for a really long time. I've spoken about this on my channel quite a bit. I feel like I haven't used it in a while just because I'm sort of kind of on my Nude 6 Bondi Bay train and I haven't gotten off it yet, and they're such similar products. It's either I use one or the other. For a long time I was exclusively using this product though. It's really, really awesome. So for the second product, this was the complete opposite in that I was not surprised whatsoever that this was mentioned as much as it was, and it is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I don't need to say anything about this. You guys know the drill with this. So first gonna go in with the Milk Makeup stick, and I'm gonna take my Morphe G37 brush, which is just a small little synthetic brush, and I'm gonna pick up the product directly from the stick itself rather than putting it on my face. And now I'm just gonna basically stipple this on my skin just to get a nice wash of color down before I go in with the powder. For the butter bronzer, I'm using the shade Bronzer, and for my brush, I'm taking my JH02, and I'm just gonna pick up quite a bit of this because, like I said, it's pretty sheer, so you could go in with a heavy hand and you're not gonna apply too much. And I'm just gonna go over where I applied that cream, and it's gonna set it down and make it look a little bit more intense as well. We're going for a very bronze look today, apparently. Before I go into my blush, I do want to apply my highlighter because, spoiler alert, the blush that I will be using is a liquid, and I feel like if I apply the liquid before applying the powder highlighter, things are not going to really work, so I want to put that highlighter on first. Now this was like no competition. The #1 highlighter that you guys were commenting was by far the Anastasia M Resi highlighter. There was no competition in the highlighter category, like nothing else came close. The second most commented one was the NARS Fort de France, but even that one did not even come close to the M Resi one. But the NARS Fort de France is actually a beautiful highlighter. It's the one that I'm currently using. I actually do have the full-size version right now in my everyday vanity, and then I have a little mini sample size in my on-the-go makeup bag, so that one is really beautiful. So let's see what all the hype is about this highlighter. Let's put it on. So a little bit definitely goes a long way. You do not need a lot of product to get a really, really intense effect. I feel like I probably should have applied my concealer before doing this, but oh well. What I do appreciate about this is that it does have that intensity, but it doesn't look completely unflattering on the face. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take my foundation brush, and I'm not putting any more foundation on, but I am going to be going over that highlighter just to sort of like mesh it into my skin a little bit. Now I feel like that looks so much better when you just go over it with a little bit of that foundation. It looks like it's really coming from within the skin, but it looks so intense and beautiful. I really like it with that little technique. That looks awesome. Okay, so for the eyeshadow, so the #1 most popular eyeshadow palette was the Anastasia Soft Glam. Very excited to see that. That is also another one of my personal favorites. I've spoken about that, I feel like, so much this year. A few more of the top palettes you guys were recommending. #2 was the Natasha Denona palettes. A lot of you guys were saying that the Natasha Denona Gold palette was your favorite from 2018, which is gonna be one that I'm gonna be using today because I have this, but I have not yet used it. A lot of you guys were also saying the Hourglass and Marc Jacobs little like glitter pots. So you have the Marc Jacobs sequins, which are these guys over here, and then the Hourglass scattered light eyeshadows, which are very similar to the Marc Jacobs sequins. So today I am going to be using the Marc Jacobs sequins because I actually have not yet used these, and so many of you guys are recommending them that you really got me intrigued, and I'm very excited to try it out. All right, so let's get started. I am first going to go into the Natasha Denona Gold palette, like I said, and I'm going to use this shade right over here, which looks like a great transition shade. And I'm using this on my JH30 brush, which is just a very, very fluffy blending brush. And I'm just going to buff this right above my crease just to create a nice haze of color around the eye so that everything else that we put on has something nice to blend into. Now I'm going to go into this guy right over here, the little brown. I know I'm not using the most exciting colors from this palette, but that's because I really want the star of the show to be the sequins glitter from Marc Jacobs. And I mean, there's really not much else I could put in the crease from this palette. All the matte shades are all matte browns, but they're applying really nicely. So now that we have that down, I'm going to take the star of the show, which is this Marc Jacobs sequins in Glam Noir. So I am going to use my finger to apply this. I feel like that's definitely going to be the most effective way. And then I'm going to start to, oh my God, this is beautiful. My heart just started beating faster. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. There's something, you guys, about glitter that just literally restarts my heart. I don't even think the camera is capable of picking up the dimension that is in this eyeshadow. Can you guys see the sparkle? I don't think you can. This went from like a sort of boring eye look to something just completely magical. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do some winged eyeliner off camera, and then I will come back to finish off the eyes. Okay, winged eyeliner is applied, and I also cleaned out my under eyes with a makeup wipe. There actually wasn't that much fallout, not as much as I expected with the sequins, but there was a little bit of glitter here and there. For concealer, there were 2 concealers that were pretty high up on the list. Let me just take out my graph once again, hold please. So the number 1 concealer, again, there was like very little competition in this category, was by far the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. Yeah, this one definitely won by like a landslide. You guys love the stuff. I have to agree. I also love the stuff. The second most commented concealer was the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. So I'm going to be using both of these today. I'm going to be using the NARS one on like my face area, and I'm going to be using the Too Faced one underneath my eyes. So for the Born This Way concealer, I'm using the shade Porcelain, and I'm just going to put some underneath my eyes, and by some, I mean quite a lot. And then with the NARS concealer, I'm going to pick some up with a brush, and I'm going to use this to highlight my face. So I'm gonna put some on the bridge of my nose, on my chin, around my nose, just like on any areas also where I feel like I want just the smallest more coverage. So I'm just gonna take a small little synthetic brush and just start to buff this all out. Like, you see how full coverage that Too Faced concealer is? It's no joke. It looks slightly insane. And I feel like I just covered up all of the highlighter that I have put on, so I may have to reapply that a little bit. Sometimes I forget that with this Too Faced concealer, a little bit really does go a long way. Like, I applied far too much. I always say with this concealer, use a small amount, and I went against my own advice. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, let us use some powder. Now for powder, this was another category that really was very clear. So most of you guys were saying that you love the Hourglass Veil Setting Powder. So this is what I'm going to be using today, but I did want to give an honorable mention to the second most commented powder, which was the Maybelline Loose Fit Me Finishing Powder. This is another really, really great one. So I'm going to take a little bit of this powder and just set my under eyes with this. I feel like my skin is so full coverage right now, and I rarely ever do anything this full coverage anymore, so it's like really throwing me off. So for the mascara, Hourglass Caution. We are the same. We obviously like and love the same products. It's amazing. The Hourglass Caution is also one of my favorites. It was by far the most commented for the mascara category. Very close behind though was the Lancome Monsieur Big, as well as the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and even the Glossier Lash Slick. So I'm going to be using this today. I'm going to pile it on my top lashes. Just to very quickly finish off the eyes, I'm just gonna put a little bit of the brown shadow on my lower lash line just to balance things out a little bit so it's not so top heavy and bottom empty. So that can sometimes look a little bit weird, especially if the top is so smoky. We are gonna do some blush to sort of just like tie everything together. I feel like I look so weird that I'm not wearing blush on my face right now. So for blush, the 2 top products that you guys mentioned was the Hourglass Unlocked eyeshadow palette. It's a palette that has 2 blushes, a highlighter, and then 2 setting powders. It's sort of like a bronzery shade. The blush shades in here are perfection. So that was number 1. Number 2 was the Glossier Cloud Paint. I've spoken about these quite a bit in my most recent videos, so I'm not gonna go on and on about them, but they are just such beautiful liquid blushes. They're really great because you can mix them to create your own custom shades, which is what we're gonna be doing today. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this on first and then just layer a bit of the Hourglass palette on top. I'm gonna go into Dusk, which is the beautiful nude shade, and you need such a small amount, so really don't go crazy. I'm just putting that much. And then I'm going to put like a pin size amount of the shade Haze, which is this purple. So that's what the color looks like mixed together. It's actually really, really pretty. It's sort of like a nude rose. And the way I like to apply these is actually with a natural haired, fluffy, loose brush. I just feel like it diffuses the product perfectly without it looking patchy. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit on the back of my hand and just start off by building it up on my cheeks. Now I'm going to go into the Hourglass palette. I'm going to take the middle pink shade and just sort of pop a little bit of that right on the apples. Just add a little bit of dimension to this look. I'm looking very blushy right now. Maybe a little bit too blushy. I'm going to go into my foundation brush and just sort of tap around the edges of that just to sort of melt it into my skin a little bit. Okay, now for the brows, the top brow product that you guys were recommending was by far the Glossier Boy Brow. This was the most commented. Close by was the Benefit Brow products. There was sort of like a mix of Benefit Brow products. I was seeing the Goof Proof actually pop up quite a bit, which is not my personal favorite of the Benefit Brow pencils. I prefer the Precisely My Brow pencil, but you guys seem to really love the Goof Proof, so that's what I'm gonna be using today. So I'm first going to go ahead and just lightly define my brows with the pencil, just to sort of fill in the gaps. We are just about done. The last category was for the lip product. Now, there was literally so little competition for the lip product. It was so clear right when I started compiling all the data what the top lip product was, and I'm not surprised at all. It is the Fenty Gloss Bomb. Basically, every single one of you may have said that the Fenty Gloss Bomb was one of your favorite products from 2018. It's such a beautiful, delicious gloss. It gives the most amazing shine. It's not sticky. It smells amazing. What more can you ask for? And I love the way it makes my lips look. So that's what we're gonna be using on my lips today. I'm first gonna just line my lips though with this Nabla lip liner. It's the Velvet Line lip liner in Touch Me. And I'm using the original shade of the Gloss Bomb, which is still my favorite. All of your favorite products, statistically proven, are now on my face. Definitely very different from what I've been doing lately, which is more of a minimal makeup vibe. This is like really intense. My under eyes are still a little bit too stark for me, but that's okay. We just gotta move on forward because there's no going back. So guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much to everybody who participated. Stay on the lookout for the next one where I'm going to be talking about all of your least favorite products from 2018. Definitely let me know all of your thoughts down below. Let me know what you thought of today's video, the products that I used, and literally anything that's on your mind. Of course, give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.